All right, it's the Spinwhiz Comics live pre-show. This is where we talk about the show during the show. It's a very unique take. It's a very special take. But it's all brought to you by SpinwhizComics.com. That is a comic book discovery platform. They also have iOS and Android apps. 86 independent comic book publishers, over 400 titles, growing more and more every week. Some notable publishers: SourcePoint Press, Tidal Wave, Marcosia, A Wave Blue World, and Arcana. So many more. And most of it is absolutely free. Costs you nothing. Pull out your phone. Go get your freaking app store thing or whatever going. I don't have a phone. But go read some free comics. SpinwhizComics.com. Again, this is not the show. This is the show where we talk about the show. All right, so
yeah, man. Gubber's the worst person to have pimping out a phone app. Mr. over here still using like a flip phone.
I don't. It's not even like a phone that I use.
Still using that Nokia. Still playing Snake on it.
It's. I have a phone for emergencies only, in case there's a problem, in case there's a predicament. I use it. I use it then. But this is the pre-show, so let's talk about what is going to go on the show. We're going to talk about news. Yes, I have food news, some dope food news this week. Yes, we are going to talk about an X-Men book that came out this week because of the whole Ten of Swords thing. Yes, we are going to talk about some Transformers and G.I. Joe shit because holy crap, Hasbro dropped the bomb on us.
Yeah, they're not producing any books, but damn, they're producing some toys.
So that won't all take long. And then it was an overall mediocre week of books, and we're going to talk about that. But let's talk about the other shows that we're doing on this network in this pre-show. Because Adam, I don't have a solid confirmation from you, but because AKA David dropped out. Not drop out, work, shit all over him. So he's not going to be here for a while. We were planning on doing the top 5 graphic novels of all time on our show, The Top 5, which is like a monthly or whatever show that we do. But man, the research for that is such a pain in the ass. So thanks, David. He got me out of having to read like 10 different books for me to decide, again, what my top 5.
Based off of the premise, you'd be reading some of the greatest things ever written.
I know, but I have to read the shit that came out this week, and that took all of my time. Anyway, so we're changing top 5. The next top 5, and this is a follow-up of our last episode of top 5 that we did, which was top 5 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. That was a fun debate. We had a lot of fun shitting on each other and agreeing. We agreed a whole lot on that one, more than I thought we would. But we're following that one up for Tuesday, October 13th. You have to be there, Adam. I don't care what's going on.
I'm giving you a solid maybe.
Top 5 graphic novels is now top 5 comic book movies that are not in the MCU. No animation. Must have had a theatrical release.
Some animation had theatrical release.
No, it's both. It's A and B. Can't be animated. It has to have had a theatrical release.
You're rolling out Mask of the Phantasm?
Yeah, Mask of Phantasm.
No Mask of the Phantasm. No Spider-Verse, man. Holy shit. Spider-Verse is
probably... Well, then your list is totally invalid.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Verse was hands down the best non-MCU movie.
Oh,
it would be up there in the MCU, too.
By far.
Oh, yes. 100% agreed. But it's still a very solid list of movies. All the X-Men movies, all the Spider-Man movies. V for Vendetta is on there. The Crow, Judge Dredd, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I could go on and on. This is just a teaser of what's making my list.
I'm just saying.
Quick question: If you don't show up, is it like one per? Is it one per series? Otherwise, you could do maybe more than one in the Nolan Batman trilogy.
No. If you wanted to pick all 3 Nolan Batmans, you could pick all 3 Nolan Batman. I wouldn't either. I would definitely pick one of them. But I would not pick all 3. Hell no.
I'd actually pick Batman Begins over Dark Knight.
No. I don't like Batman Begins as much as The Dark Knight. I'm sorry, that Joker. Holy crap! It's heads and shoulders above any other villain that's ever been depicted on screen. That is sourced from a comic book, easily, hands down. No, I mean that alone. All right, next bit of other show news that we're doing. Thanks to Jules, who does the preview show with us on Mondays. Catch it right here on this channel that you're on right now, Mondays, 7 Central. We are doing a new show called, man, I got to find the damn. I put so much new.
You got to be
put so much new shit in here. All right, here it
is.
is.
For all these things you're hawking at people.
Here it is. It's very classy. Of course, I have the ego-centric.
Man, stop talking over it. It's supposed to be classy.
Everybody knows this. This is the classy part. Oh, man, I hope that's open source. I hope that's public domain like I read it was. Oh, you have to turn off mute, Taylor. That's it. That's the that's the intro. Okay.
It actually was reasonably cool, but you were talking over the classy part as well.
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
I really should do more research to make sure that song is in the public domain. But
it's out of the bag now, man.
Yeah, right. The Geek collection. It's anybody who knows what the Criterion collection is. It's like collects the best of movies. You know, we're doing the same sort of thing, and it may creep into more than just movies. I think we should just keep it fucking movies, but hey, I don't know. But they all have a major geek angle to them. It's the best of the best in geek cinema. And first on the list is They Live. We're going to do that, I think, on the 20th. I have to get Jules has to be here for it because it's kind of his thing.
Yeah, it is his thing.
But that's what I think we're going to do. So that's basically it. We watch a movie and then just talk about it in depth for an hour. Best of the best in geek. And we always take a geek angle to it no matter what it is. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got for I expected this to be more fun, the pre-show, for some reason. All brought to you by SpinwhizComics.com. Also on iOS and Android. Free comics, y'all. So many free comics. Your involvement
is already tying an anchor around the neck of any prospect of having fun.
I know.
Taylor is right.
But that's all good, man. I'm very excited about both of those
His
shows.
hair just sucks up all the fun.
Yeah. I think back to that time we did that
the cold water challenge.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
The ice bucket
challenge.
That is still on our YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can scroll down and see that. Yeah, I had my hair all froed out, and the water hit it directly, and it had no effect at all.
It was for a fleeting moment. It was flattened out, but then like your hair has like regeneration. It just
don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
But okay.
All right, so there you go. That's what we're doing. That's in the pipeline. So I think we're doing that on the 13th and the 20th. Those are both Tuesdays, right, Adam?
Maybe.
Come on, you got to be here.
I'm giving you a definite on the Geek collection.
I already got the bullies here for the 13th, so don't let me down in front of the comic book bullies.
Don't make me look bad, man.
Again, SpinwhizComics.com.
Look bad in front of the cool kids.
Also on iOS and Android. Check them out. It's free comics, y'all. But we're gonna start the show. Oh, I got a new one.
Mm-hmm. This is bad comedy.
You're right, Galvatron. It's terrible shit. I don't know why anyone would want to watch this. Oh, this is gonna be great. Isn't it weird how one shining gem can just like compensate for so much shit?
Not only am I about that, man. I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it was as great, so great that it, covered the void that was the rest of the week. There was a big gap here.
Oh, it was terrible. Greetings, geeks. Welcome back to another episode of this Geek in Comics Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
So I'm Gomer. I'm here as always with Adam Normal. Taylor's hanging out. Maybe permanently. Might just make it a foursome. So much hotter. You've always got someone to hold the camera.
You phrasing it like that makes me want to say no.
We had a great pre-show brought to you by Spinwhiz. This is segment 1 where we just talk about how our week's been going. I will break the ice. I watched Knives Out finally, and I can't stop talking about it. It was so good.
It was pretty good.
I've been meaning to watch it forever.
A lot of strong performances, really stacked cast. It's a pretty solid whodunit. Yeah.
It's a great film in a sea full of movies. You know what I mean? This is how it's
I hear
done,
you.
man. It was no effects, just a great story. Like you said, great acting, great cast, a perfect script. I don't know why Rian Johnson gets so much shit. Because of Star Wars? Go to
Because of
hell,
Star
nerds.
Wars,
Star
yeah.
Wars,
But,
yeah.
Go to hell, nerds. Go to hell,
specifically,
nerds.
yes, because of Star Wars. But whether that or not it's deserved is a whole nother topic. But I'm not going to get into that right now.
I also watched Enola
let's not
Holmes,
go
and
into
it was
those
shit.
leads.
But yeah, Knives Out was fun.
Yeah, Knives Out was great.
Chris Evans and
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis was really good, but I was going to mention Daniel Craig. I think were the real standouts.
Dude, he was kind of like the Inspector Clouseau, but there's that great twist, man. Where very well done.
Supposedly, there's going to be more of those movies following whatever his character's name was, as he does different cases.
That's a rad idea. Good idea.
Yeah.
They won't feature smarmy asshole Chris Evans, which was a really fun turn for Chris Evans.
I love when he got puked on. I knew as soon as she mentioned puking. Whatever. If you haven't seen it by now,
it's from the end of the movie.
If you haven't seen it now, go to hell.
Okay, fair enough. I guess it's like a year old.
Too,
so I guess that's fair.
I also watched Enola Holmes on Netflix, and it was shit. I don't think it's for me. I think it's for more of a young adult.
Yeah, I don't think you were in the demographic for it.
Yeah, it was not great.
I saw you calling it 11 Homes
or something sometime, but I don't think it's for us, man.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Whatever. Well, what's going on? What you guys do this week?
Netflix algorithm, man. You got to get 11. You got to get Geralt from Rivia.
Well, yeah, I imagine anyone who watched Stranger Things is probably going to get it as a suggestion, at least. Sure.
Yeah. Well, it's number 2 on Netflix right now. I think it may have been number 1. The Good Place season 4 is on Netflix now. That was way up there this week. I'm rewatching that
so
I can watch season 4. It's awesome. So fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun show. What did you guys do this week? Anything worth mentioning?
Not really, man.
I've been so boring.
I've just been playing my Super Nintendo. You know, I've just been being an old school kid, and I've been salivating over these new Transformers they keep.
We're talking about that later. That's a tease.
Yeah, I'm just splitting time between playing Avengers and watching football this weekend. So
fun. Boring. Oh, that's the overlay. I need the video. You figured I'd have this shit figured out by now.
We know you don't.
Let's start the news off with a light one. I'll start off with a light one. Dan Didio joins the Kubert School. If you don't know what the Kubert School is, it's like, good for him. It's like a comic book school, like a university.
Good for him to have a job, I guess.
October 1st, legendary DC publisher Dan Didio will join the ranks of its talented faculty. As a longtime fan and supporter of the school, I'm excited to be involved in it. He's going to be teaching an online course called From Concept to Sale. So it seems it's more like an intro overview of
making
the
comics
industry,
right?
Because that's really not
like the business side of things more
exactly.
so than
Exactly.
Art. Which I was about to say. Is Dan Didio an artist? Because I've only ever known him as the editor over at DC. But
yeah, he writes, but
he writes. I don't really see him do any artwork though.
He's doing the new Metal Men book right now. It's still being published somehow.
Well,
but yeah, good for him. Great job if you can get it, man. You know what I'm saying? Working at the Kubert School, just talking shit about comics all day. Shit.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
Give me that job. I'll do that. I'm not very good at it though. I'm no Dan Didio. All right, what else? Who's got news?
I got one. So, Marvel announced new sword series. Al Ewing,
that's in my stack. Yeah,
Valerio Schiti coming in December. Yes. I'm excited. I like me some sword.
I am too. I got the cover.
Yeah, there you go. Right there.
So, who's the kid in the chair? Because I don't recognize him.
It's I've got the list of characters.
Well, apparently their name is Whiz Kid, they said, or something.
Yeah, Whiz Kid. He's a throwback. He's a throwback. No, he's not new. He's not new.
Oh, my mistake.
Yeah. It's also got Cable, Frenzy, Whiz Kid, like you said, Fabian Cortez, and a Manifold. Dude, does Hickman love Manifold or what?
He totally loves Manifold. Man, X-Men, its roster is ever expanding, but you know what? DC's has been contracting lately, so I'm starting to get more room for it. I'm definitely thinking about picking up this sword.
Great artist on this, Valerio Schiti. Love his work.
I love Al Ewing.
Yeah, I love Al Ewing. Cool. I mean, the creative team and everything gets me pretty excited about it, and
The last
it's an interesting idea. Lots of room to do cool stuff with that.
And we're going to be talking more about Sword.
The last Cosmic Team Al Ewing had the Ultimates. That was a really fun run. So
well, he's doing Guardians.
Yeah.
And that's been not terrible. It's hard coming off of that Donny Cates run. But we'll talk more about Sword later because but okay, everyone finished Empire here?
Yeah.
This stemmed right out of Empire. Abigail Brand.
Yeah, one of the epilogue books for Empire. I was about to mention they are actually pimping out this new Sword book pretty hard. They mentioned it specifically at the end of Empire, and now they're mentioning it at the beginning of something I'm sure we'll talk about later.
I'm sure it's going to be important to something in Hickman verse.
Abigail Brand made getting into the story made a really good point. Like Sword is supposed to be sentient world observation, whatever. They're the shield
response department.
Yeah, they're the shield of space. They're supposed to be the front line against alien invasions. The Avengers and the Fantastic Four, the two premier superhero teams on Earth, just left them out of the equation when the Kree and the Skrull come to the solar system, and then the Kotati plant people started invading. Just left them out. Abigail Brand has a right to be pissed. Why not go to the new kid, quote unquote new kid on the block, where the X-Men have their own nation and can sponsor something like Sword? It's really intriguing,
they're definitely
on all
one
these
space
levels.
Presence.
Yeah, it's really intriguing on a lot of different levels, man. I loved the first Sword series, even though it got canceled early. So I love Abigail Brand. I love how she was banging Beast back in the day. I loved that so much. Loved it. They had a really cool organic relationship. It was very well written on the page.
Hickman loves himself some Abigail Brand too. She was all over that Avengers run of his.
Yeah. Great bit of news. Taylor, what's up? Your news story.
I was just going to mention how the MCU has released a revised release schedule for the upcoming couple of years. We're still getting Black Widow first. That's pushed back to May of next year. But they had Shang-Chi jumping the line. That's supposed to come out in the summer next year now.
Hey, I mentioned...
Which one is it jumping?
It is jumping over Eternals, which was supposed to come out this November, but it's now coming out next November.
I'm sure Eternals will be not as directly connected to everything.
Probably not.
It's hard to tell
like
anymore.
The first Guardians movie was,
See,
well, Guardians was the first proof of concept for that because that was them throwing out characters that no one's ever heard of.
Sure.
And this is going to be that same thing again, but they built up a lot of benefit of the doubt for themselves. So
sure. It's hard to tell where the MCU is going in terms of direction because it's sort of like a clean slate now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thanos epic is over and we're on to maybe Kang. We've heard Kang might be coming to Ant-Man 3.
I mean, they have like Galactus and stuff that they could potentially pull out of the stable now.
Well, they're saying Kang is confirmed for Ant-Man 3.
That could be cool.
Yeah. There's also talk Samuel L. Jackson's going to get his own Disney Plus show.
Oh, yeah, that came out this week.
And there's rumor that that's Agents of S.W.O.R.D., that they're going to carry over the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. So several of the characters from that are going to jump to the S.W.O.R.D. thing.
As long as it is a better quality show than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was.
I go back and forth with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans, and they say, no, you just have to watch it for like 3 seasons, and then you're so into it, you can't help it. Well,
okay, you say that, but you're the guy who says that about every single series of Star Trek.
That's different. Star Trek is different.
That's different.
No, Star Trek is different, man.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was resoundingly okay for most of its existence. It had some nice peaks, like the Ghost Rider stuff was kind of fun. The tie-in with Winter Soldier's business, that was pretty cool.
Did you finish the whole
lot
series?
Of it to be forgettable.
Yeah, that's my problem with it. It was forgettable.
Well, it's a network TV show, so that already is kind of putting it in a box that it can't get out of.
Yeah,
but being on Disney Plus, they should have the ability to put a little bit more effort into it, a little bit more production.
Yeah, last time we saw Nick Fury was at the post-credit scene for Far From Home, and he appeared to be up in space doing something with some Skrulls or something. So yeah, S.W.O.R.D. seems like a reasonable supposition.
Agreed, 100%. Okay, Jerry Conway. Everybody knows Jerry Conway, comic book writer, created the Punisher. Yeah, we're talking about this.
Oh gosh,
this old man. Shitting on someone, right? What happened?
He wasn't shitting on someone. He was industry.
Yeah, he just had his own spin on how comics should be run.
His idea to fix the comic book industry on Twitter.
And there was a very clickbaity
like,
headline.
Oh yeah, the headline sucked. I'm not even going to talk about that. But this is his idea. It's just a few paragraphs. Okay. I'd cancel every existing superhero comic book and publish a limited new line for middle grade readership, simplify characters and storylines, and eliminate every event that requires more than a passing familiarity with the basic simplified continuity, 10 to 15 titles. For existing readers, I'd offer a separate higher priced graphic novel line with whatever expanded adult stories, lines creators and readers want to explore, but this would be separate. And I'd also do everything possible to get monthly comics into supermarkets, movie theaters, and Walmart and Target and Costco, and offer subscription services through Amazon. Pursue every alternative distribution avenue possible. It seems like it's 30 years old. It
definitely reads like a great plan,
man.
It reads like a great plan for back in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know? I don't think it's a viable plan for today. For the comic book industry needs to start embracing digital more. That's where they really need to start going. DC Universe, they really need to start building that up. They already have Marvel is already way ahead of them with Marvel Unlimited.
No, it's impossible to get books into stores like this because retail space is so limited. It's worth a lot of money. And
they already have books in stores. DC has books in Walmart, but like
it's
who's
different.
buying those?
It's like
That
specific.
touches on something I think that's important worth pointing out here is all of this just seems like a scaling up of stuff that's already being done. Like they relaunch books all the damn time exactly for the point of attracting new readers. They release these little like mini collections of crap on a fairly regular basis. None of this is some revolutionary new idea. It's just I
also think
different version of the same thing.
Right.
That we're
I also think
it's a weird combination.
I also think he has it wrong where he thinks the younger readers will get the floppies, will get the single issues. I don't think.
They won't.
I don't think younger readers don't want
medium
that
in their damn lives.
Right. They want either a trade or they want it digital. They want it digital most of the time.
Yeah.
And if not, they want something that they can hold on to and carry around and show off.
Right.
Something that's unique and special. And one little floppy comic is not enough anymore, man. Kids are reading manga. My kid likes the paper manga because they look nice on a shelf, you know? But there's no way books are coming into supermarkets and Costco and Walmart, not monthlies. And he's talking about no events. Events are driving the industry right now. The biggest thing that we're going to talk about this week is an event book. The biggest thing going on at DC right now is an event book. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is.
I get the criticisms levied against events, and like they does seem like they happen too much, but they're doing this for a reason. They are doing this just because it's making them more money than not doing events would be doing.
Exactly.
So love them or hate, like every now and then, just by sheer volume, you'll get some good ones. But
and I mean, but that goes for any comic.
Sure, yeah.
You know, but the events give them a chance to build off of their shared universe in a way that you're just not able to do in other comic book venues. You know what I mean? Image Comics can't do a crossover.
I'm just tired.
I'm not, dude.
I am totally in. We just had Empire. We're having X of Swords or 10 of Swords now. We're about to have that Venom event, right?
I can't wait for King in Black.
Well, I guess a healthy way to look at it is a lot of this is stuff.
Endless Winter's coming up.
I don't know the first thing about Venom or the cosmic sector of the Marvel Universe very much, so I have no interest in reading King in Black, and that's fine. I mean, people who want to enjoy it, by all means, go at it, have fun. But I am getting the 10 of Swords because I was already reading X-Men. I picked up Empire because I was reading Dan Slott's Fantastic Four and I was reading Jason Aaron's Avengers. So
exactly.
Organic jumping on point.
But and that's the thing. And you didn't read all of the Empire tie-ins,
Oh,
did
no,
you?
Certainly not.
Exactly.
No,
there were Captain America books and Captain Marvel books and Iron Man books. No, I don't need all those. but they're
I've
optional.
never in my life read every
Not
single
with
tie-in.
Civil War. I did Civil War.
I don't have the time or money to get like the dozens and dozens of books that would require.
Civil War. I did get all the books. I have every single issue. Except for the variant.
Well, that was a special event.
That was a special event, dude.
Yeah,
it was the proto event in a lot of ways.
Exactly. And Secret Wars, when Hickman's run, I got all.
I got almost every one of those.
Well,
I got all the number one. Some of them I dropped out, dude. There were so damn many for
Secret Wars was a rare treat where the actual event itself was stellar. Yes. And a lot of the tie-ins were great. Like they had a lot of solid,
and you didn't need
Elseworld type of feel.
No, you didn't need most of them. Most of them were throwaways, but they were all fun. And you know, even if they weren't great, they were all really interesting concepts.
Yeah,
exactly. And these are the things that are driving the creativity, driving the storytelling innovation at the big two, because they have all of this massive history and nostalgia that they're pooling from when they do these events. And I think Jerry Conway's just missing it. I think he's focusing on getting new readers into comics. I think the best way to do that is to make comics more accessible. Comics are the biggest thing right now. If you look at just a single digital product, a comic book is not a good digital product. It's too expensive.
Right. What they should do
is
they should
song
bundle
for $1, or Spotify 1,000 songs for $10 a month. There's no easy in for new comics. Unlimited, like you said, Comixology.
What they should do is they should bundle Marvel Unlimited with Disney Plus and all of that stuff, and then they should bundle DC Universe with HBO Max, and that'll get the most people's eyes on it. Yeah, just be like, hey, this is where we got the idea for this.
Hey,
movie,
did you just watch Logan? Why don't you go read Old Man Logan, because you're gonna love it, and it's nothing like what you just watched. You know what I mean? It's a way to get them involved. It's a way to get people in the habit of recognizing that comics are something. All right, next news. Anybody else got news? I got one more.
I got one more. Apparently, The Rock has a Hawkman in his movie, and they got this guy named Aldous Hodge to play him. I don't know anything about Aldous.
I've seen him in several things.
I think it's interesting that there's a Hawkman. I think it's interesting that there's a Hawkman in a Black Adam movie, though.
That could be cool. I mean,
I'm all for it.
Is the Black Adam movie supposed to be like ancient times Black Adam?
I'm not sure.
Hawkman is one of the few people available on the roster, if that's the case.
Oh yeah, he can hop all over the place.
And they've mentioned JSA, so that's going to tie into that with Hawkman. So I'm all cool with the casting. I've seen him in Supernatural. There's another show I watched. He was in it. He was really good in it. So yeah, I'm good for him. Awesome. I'm excited. And it's The Rock.
Yeah, it's The Rock.
It's The Rock.
He can do nothing wrong.
That's right.
I've never
watched some
things
mediocre, but he can do nothing wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing a movie with The Rock in it and thinking, man, The Rock really ruined this for me.
No, he always makes it better. He always makes it better.
I mean, he had a good streak of saving franchises, like that G.I. Joe sequel he was in was.
I don't know if he saved the franchise. They never made another one.
Not necessarily, but he did. He did make the movie significantly better through his presence.
Yeah, Fast and
Furious. He did save Fast and Furious. He absolutely saved Fast and Furious.
Yeah. All right, food news. Oh, you got another news bit?
No. Not until we go to the moment of destruction.
Right. I was looking around the internet and I found what's called the burrito pop. All right, I'm just going to let this GIF play over and over. This is a twistable burrito holder.
Oh my gosh.
Are you kidding me? We're living in the future.
Is that like heating up the burrito or something?
No, it's just holding it.
It's just holding it so that it can carry it.
So you can just rub it on your face like lip balm, you know?
No, it does open like a lip balm. It really does. But no, this is so that you can eat your burrito on the go without it, being messy.
Without having to hold your burrito.
Yeah, you don't really have to hold it and get your hands dirty. Dude,
you say on the go, but this looks like a rather cumbersome thing to be carrying around.
I don't really trust it to hold on to my burrito. It looks like my burrito can fling around a little bit in there.
No, it's in there securely.
If I hit a speed bump, I think my burrito might fall out of it.
I should have gotten the better video. There was a much better video, but it was kind of long.
This isn't even a video. This is just a
It's a GIF.
A GIF,
GIF.
yeah.
All right. Well, okay.
Whatever.
Sing
I
its
love
praises
this
for us, Gomer. What all is it bringing to the table besides taking
it.
up a lot of space in your bag?
That's it. It keeps your burrito warm. And
Okay.
all right. I've had enough of this shit. What do we got? Where are we going?
I don't know that I'd pay money for something that only seems like it'd be marginally useful.
I'm gonna get
that
one.
didn't even seem marginally useful.
I'm gonna get one.
I was being generous, maybe, but
I'm getting
that
one.
seemed way more cumbersome.
Whatever. I'm definitely getting one of those. All right. There was no comics this week for G.I. Joe or any other
but
Hasbro
man, there was
action,
some
but holy
news.
crap.
A whole lot of
crap.
news. Whew. Yeah, they announced the Kingdom toys. Beast Wars is finally back. They were teasing some Beast Wars earlier. You know, back with Power of the Primes. I got this nice little Optimus Maximal. You know, woo.
Beautiful.
But we're getting G1.
It's G1
Beast Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the dinosaur. Well, there's Optimus Primal. There's Megatron. Man, I had the original Beast Wars Megatron, and I used to have the big Jurassic Park T-Rex, and I'd make them fight each other all the time back when I was a kid. Yeah.
I don't have all of them. I got Rat Trap.
Love me some Rat Trap.
Got a Black Arachnia. Just a great design on that alt mode. I'm sorry.
I'm definitely gonna have to pre-order that Rat Trap and the Megatron.
Yeah.
Out of all of those,
I don't want any of those.
I know you don't, man, because you're not that '90s kid. I'm
not a Beast Wars guy. One last thing I did want to point out. This is some of the art from the upcoming Kingdom. Notice this big guy right here in the back. That's the Ark transformed into a robot.
Yep, we're definitely getting the Ark as a Titan.
I'm very excited.
But hey, did you have a Cyclonus picture?
I don't have the new Cyclonus.
Oh man, I'm totally getting a Cyclonus too if I can.
He's just kind of plain Jane.
He's just plain Jane, but he's Cyclonus. I got to get him for my tailgate.
They also showed off some of the new classified figures. I pre-ordered this one as soon as it went live. This is the Cobra Infantry. There's a Zartan too.
COVID ready.
Yep, COVID ready. Zartan, pretty nice. A Firefly and a Viper Trooper. What a debacle with these two. They sold out in seconds because of these stupid Target exclusives. Hasbro, stop doing
keeps being a thing.
I hate it. It used to be when there was an exclusive figure at a store, it was like you're on the hunt. You know what I mean? I'm going to go to my local one, maybe go to 3 or 4 in neighboring cities. I'm going to look for this figure. It's not like that anymore. What it is people who are just better with the computer, who have no other intention than to resell the item they're going to purchase on eBay for 2, 3, sometimes 4 times as
just
much
sitting
as
there refreshing that page.
Is not fair to the collectors, man. And it's
a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the ass.
Needs to stop. You know, I'm glad the Firefly sculpt is so damn ugly because I don't even want it anymore. I don't. Assholes.
And that's a shame too because I love Firefly. Firefly is one of my favorites.
I did too, and I would get it if it was available. I really would. But I did get my hands on this. I did my pre-ordering for the infantry. The Cobra Trooper.
I don't know why you want him, man. He misses every shot he shoots.
Yeah, I know.
They all do, but
the Cobra Trooper was exclusive at Target too, and they screwed it up too, man. It pisses me off. All right, let's get into something that Taylor's not just completely bored with. Man, it's so epic. I picked the perfect music for this. Man, I picked the perfect music for that because, gosh, was it epic. XX 10 of Swords Creation #1, Chapter 1 of the 22-chapter epic. Jonathan Hickman, Pepe Larraz. Driven by amazing art, action-packed story. Unfortunately, it meandered quite a bit, but that's understandable.
It's so long. It's got a lot that they're trying to fill in there. Yeah. And there's a lot of exposition in there too, because there's just a lot of bullshit coming out. They're pulling out of nowhere, you know.
A whole lot of small. Oh, go ahead, Taylor. Go ahead.
Just that this book, was undeniably a very massive exposition dump. But as far as exposition dumps go, it was good.
Hickman's the best at them.
Hickman's the best.
Hickman can write exposition dumps like no other. That is absolutely true. I don't know much about the Captain Britain mythology, which surprisingly seems to be a pretty central feature to all this.
Yeah,
Captain Britain has a very interesting mythology. With Otherworld and the Captain Britain Corps, it's a very interesting.
You don't really have to know all of that in depth to understand the main thing here.
Like I said, I didn't know anything about it, but I very much enjoyed it. I'd never even heard of this Saturnia woman.
I think it's Saturnine.
Saturnine? Okay.
Saturnine. That's
never
what
heard
I've
of
called
her before, but I really enjoyed her as a character. I really loved her.
She got great energy.
I love the tarot card scene. All the art in that was great. Had some good foreshadowing.
Yeah. A lot of small moments. Apocalypse getting run through. Rockslide getting halved. Richter taking an arrow. The Summers family switching on the Sword space station, which we alluded to earlier, which I don't know how the hell that's going to come into the overall story. We obviously know where it's going, but I don't know how it's going to, actually make sense. But this story revolves around Apocalypse basically doing the same thing the mutants are doing now on Krakoa, only he did it thousands of years ago on Krakoa's partner island, Araco,
something like that. Araco, something like that.
But that island was invaded, so Apocalypse finally had to leave his wife and his children, who are now returned because the external gate gives them an opportunity for revenge. Yes, that's what it's all about, them getting revenge on...
Sweet revenge.
Sweet revenge. But in order to get to Krakoa, they have to go through Otherworld. So there's this big fight in Otherworld. And Saturnine says, all right, well, I don't really like these folks invading, but I definitely don't like the mutants, so let's play a game. They say, all right, you guys can hang out, and you guys can hang out, but if you want to move any further past where you're at, you're going to have to pick 10 champions each. Each of you will get a sword, and then it'll be on like a I thought it was like Survivor Series. You ever seen Survivor Series?
Yeah, it does sound like Survivor Series.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, they're picking your team. Whoever gets the most points at the end wins.
Exactly.
I guess it speaks to Hickman as a writer that ultimately what this all boiled down to was probably about as lowbrow a premise for an event as you could possibly have.
It is.
Okay, guys, let's all get awesome swords and have a big
isn't this Beyonder? This is Beyonder type shit, man.
It is. It basically is.
It's simplified.
We're doing a shonen tournament arc with swords. Yes. But it sounds fucking awesome.
I can't wait.
I should emphasize that I love shonen tournament arcs, so no problem with me there. But he took something that's inherently kind of like your
lame,
like
and
boiler,
stupid.
Pretty like juvenile premise, honestly, and made it like this highbrow struggle across the ages.
Dude. Well, it's so weird.
It also explains the event structure in a way. So now, if you're just not interested in Wolverine's sword fight for some reason, I think it's perfectly reasonable to, just not pick up his issue for whatever reason,
I'm hoping that's how the event is laid out.
Yes.
Everybody's going to have their own little fight scene, and that's like Cable's fight is going to happen in the Cable book.
Right.
Wolverine's fight will happen in the Wolverine book. There might be little hints and drops here, but the main things are going to happen in what I presume to be X-Men, Excalibur, and then the book holder issues, the creation.
The one
shot. Not getting another 10 of swords until Stasis at the end.
Exactly. Well, no, there's one in the middle too.
There's one in the middle.
Oh, I missed it. My mistake.
There's 3 of them. But 22 chapters. I'm getting them all. I can't wait. We're going to talk about this.
I'm going to try to get them all. It might be hard.
I'll definitely pick up the lion's share of them. I guess it'll be a book by book basis whether I decide to pick it up or not.
Yeah. X Factor number 4 is next week for chapter 2, and as far as I know, it's the only one coming out. There is the Lean Win and Cockrum sort of X-Men.
But that looks like it's something separate.
It is separate. It's the same exact story, a different artist doing every page. We're gonna talk more about that tomorrow on the preview show. But that was our 10 of Swords moment for the week. Holy crap! So that's it. Let's get in. I have trouble finding the videos. Got so many.
Gomer, next time tell us when you don't have trouble finding the video.
No shit, when I don't have trouble doing anything on this damn show. Okay, our top 3 of the week. Taylor, you go first. You start. We usually do our honorable mentions first. If you just wanted to briefly mention a couple of. Yeah, I'm giving you the top this week because it was shit books this week.
Yeah, I don't know that I can even give you 3 books for a top 3.
Right?
I genuinely don't
giving you any honorable mentions.
I don't really have any honorable mentions for you. Okay, sure. Juggernaut, number 1, I guess I'll do for an honorable mention because it's one of the books I read. And it wasn't bad, but
yeah.
Juggernaut seems a little out of character here, honestly. He's all like, being a papa bear to this girl that he just met from who was squatting in a building somewhere. And
I get what they're going for. He's like, I'm going to help a mutant, a stray mutant.
Well, she specifically said she's not a mutant.
Exactly, but he thought, and then he was in too deep before you could really, back out of that whole thing. But yeah, good, not great. There wasn't enough meat on the bone for me. In the Juggernaut book, man.
The next issue is supposed to be just him fighting the Hulk, and hey, that's honestly cool.
Especially if Ron Garney's doing the art. The art was fantastic in this first issue.
Yeah, the art was really good. It was standout artwork. The last time I read Juggernaut really was that Thunderbolts book that came out a few years ago.
Oh wow, that's been forever ago.
That was a while ago. That was a good book, though.
It was. It was a great book, and I really liked Juggernaut in that book.
Yeah. The scenes in this where he's in limbo and he's all small and he's having to pull the suit behind him, I wanted to see more of that, like this introspective sort of Juggernaut dealing with his past to sort of explain maybe why he was acting the way he was acting, like you mentioned, out of character when he's helping Damage Control and meeting up with that little girl, because that was great art and it just felt really moody. I liked that. I liked that quite a bit.
The art definitely is a saving grace for this book, but I have to say the writing kind of lost me on the first bit of dialogue on the first panel on the first page.
Oh, because, no, that's not good.
Basically it was like, hey, character's last name, you're right, character's last name. And, oh my god, that's really how you're getting these guys' names.
That's Fabian Nice or whatever his last name is.
Chesa, I think.
Chesa. I mean, he's been writing comics forever, so he does have a bit of an old school style to his writing.
Yeah. I mean,
it didn't ruin it for me, but you're right. It was a sore thumb.
It didn't necessarily ruin it for me, but I read that, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm lowering my expectations a bit.
Man, I wanted to see more of that shit.
That's a clumsy way of introducing these characters' names.
All right, number three book. A good honorable mention. No, you pulled one out.
Thanks. Okay, for number 3, which is really just kind of like an honorable mention plus, I guess, for this week. I guess I'll go with Shazam, number 15.
I dropped that.
I dropped that.
It's not Jeff Johns anymore, is it?
It's not Jeff Johns anymore.
Corona made me drop it.
Usually when there's a transition in the writer, I'm going to give this new writer at least an issue to win me over. I don't know that it necessarily did that, but I did enjoy the issue well enough. It kind of touched, I like the subject material. It basically puts out this idea that while Batman and Superman and Shazam are all doing good things and helping people, are they causing more problems? Because people in this world where superheroes can swoop in and save the day don't put as much effort into improving their own society. That when it's an interesting enough idea.
It is.
I don't know that it nailed it per se, but there's nothing.
It's an interesting idea, but I feel like it's something that's been explored before, and it's probably been explored somewhere better.
And it ignores the fact that those individuals themselves, those heroes, are part of the natural order, as it were. If you're talking about when the heroes leave, okay, yeah, that can happen. Anything can happen. There could be a solar flare and knock out every damn microchip on the planet. That's something we'd have to deal with. Oh, we're not prepared. We have security. Come on. They can go on forever and ever like that. But still, worth talking about in a comic.
Yeah. The artwork was pretty solid, and
yeah.
It was okay, but I probably will move off the book now that Jeff Johns isn't writing it anymore.
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely moving off it. I'll go. I'll go with my number 3. I also had Juggernaut on an honorable mention. Speed Metal number 1, Joshua Williamson, Eddie Barrows was pretty damn good, and Immortal She-Hulk was just okay, but I get it. It really feels like more of a forced sort of spin-off. Like they're telling us stuff we already know, just in a longer form, and it's nothing wrong with that. It's just I didn't really. Immortal Hulk is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not that big of a fan of it to say, oh, I'm going to get a spin-off now too. Just. They're already hitting me with all these damn one-shots. But my number 3 book of the week, Daredevil 22, Chip Zdarsky, Francesco Mobili doing the art this week, or this month, I guess. A slow start to this arc, but the art is great. He does, Mobili does this great stuff with like outside landscapes and like the interior of a courthouse, a courtroom. And the hallways of the courthouse, it all just looks so great and regal and real and industrial. I don't know. It was really good art. But there's this cool angle where Matt wants Tony Stark to buy up all of the property in Hell's Kitchen so that he can save it from this couple of neo-capitalists who
so he wants to sell all the property to the capitalists to save it from the capitalists?
Yeah, he was trying to talk Tony Stark into being a nicer capitalist than the capitalists who are his villains.
That's dumb.
And then
if you have to pick someone, you might as well
exactly
right?
Pick the billionaire but is he
the billionaire though, or is he just some AI that can get hacked?
No, this is the real Tony. This is the real Tony.
Tony is an asshole, but at least he's a well-meaning asshole. So,
exactly. Yeah. And he's all talking shit on Matt when he's doing it too. He's like, so you want me to buy this property and then sell it at a loss? And then Matt's like, yeah, that's what I want you to do to defeat these villains who want to do villainous things when they buy up all the things. And Tony's like double thinking it. Like, oh, so you could be a hero in your super suit, but when you really need to be a hero, I can see what Chip Zdarsky's doing. He's not really nailing hitting the nail on the head, but he's glancing it very, very well, enough where the poster is still going to hang on the wall after you're done. But Zdarsky's keeping things interesting, and this is like the whole trial of Daredevil, where it's not Matt Murdock on trial, it's actually Daredevil on trial. The Superhuman Registration Act says that masked vigilantes can be witnesses during a trial. So Foggy used a loophole to say, well, if they can be witnesses, why can't they also be defendants? So Daredevil is actually on trial for possibly murder too, maybe manslaughter. And that was another good aspect of this. They were getting into sort of the lawyering of it. Foggy was talking about how the other lawyer is dumb to go for second-degree murder because it's impossible to prove that. But maybe that's going to get into some other drama later. It was a great overall issue in a week full of not very good. But again, slow start to the first arc.
I'm with you.
Adam, honorable mentions or number 3.
My honorable mention is going to be Flash number 762. It's the end of Joshua Williamson's 100 issue run on the Flash. It was good. Wasn't great or anything. It definitely left Barry Allen in a better place. His character definitely grew over the course of this run. And it had some nice family moments at the end of it. But my number 3 book was definitely the better Joshua Williamson Flash book of the week. My number 3 is Speed Metal number 1. By Joshua Williamson. It's art with Eddie Barrows. Eddie Barrows' art was pretty damn good in this.
Dude, the art was amazing. The speed was off every page had motion. Oh my gosh.
I love
good
the colors
design
too.
Choices.
Mm-hmm. So where we are in the story, we have Wally, Barry, Jay, and then Kid Flash, Wallace. He also shows up. They're all running away from the Darkest Knight because if the Darkest Knight catches them, he can take Wally's Dr. Manhattan powers and do whatever he wants to do with them. And while they're running away...
Yeah, I know, all right? Correct, but it's so crazy.
I know. But while they're running away, the Darkest Knight opens up the Dark Multiverse and releases all of the Dark Multiverse Flashes to come and chase down the other Flashes. While they're doing that,
That was a great scene too. Man.
It was.
People say comics are impenetrable. You know?
I know,
Dude,
right?
I'm just saying. If you just said,
I'm not even there yet. Okay.
If you just said that sentence 10 years ago, Wally's Dr. Manhattan power, and he's running away from the Batman Who Laughs, who is a dead Joker who infected a dark Batman, they would slap you and be like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah,
all right.
They'd
So
be
Wally,
right to do so.
you come from the bad universe, the wrong universe.
So Wally uses Max Mercury's old Speed Force formula to stop time.
So weird.
It is so weird.
It's
to
so
give the Flashes
weird.
a couple of moments to rest. Really, the main reason to pick up this book is the two conversations that Wally and Barry have during this short little pause time.
To me, it summed up to every Flash fight that you ever see on social media when it comes to Barry versus Wally. Barry finally admits, "No, Wally, you're better."
He does. He admits that Wally is better.
It's conclusive now.
It is.
The argument is settled.
It is very much sort of a passing of the torch issue. It's sort of a we kind of fucked up putting you in a corner for 10 years. Hey, I guess it's all right if you can come out and be a good Flash again.
Now you know what that tells me. He's going to be dead by the end of this death metal story.
Well, the Darkest Night did say, doesn't a Flash have to die at every crisis?
And then he laughed. So I was just like, where is he? What kind of jokes are they playing here with?
Would they have telegraphed it, though, if they were actually going to kill him like that, though?
They probably would have telegraphed a little bit more.
Dude, by the end of this issue, there's like 50 fucking Flash people hanging around. All kicking it with time stopped.
It's the whole Flash family, man. They're all back. It's great.
I felt conflicted about picking this up because Wally is my favorite Flash.
He has the best
you will love it just for the conversation that Barry has with Wally, where Barry is like,
he has the best moment.
I'm sorry for marginalizing you. I'm sorry for putting you in my shadow, even without meaning to. There's just some nice character growth there.
Okay,
and
I do appreciate that.
It is all in the follow through. Hopefully DC doesn't just fuck it up and put Wally back in the closet again, and actually lets him.
That's a lot of faith you're putting in him there.
I hope he keeps the Dr. Manhattan powers, dude.
I hope he does too for a little while. It's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I ultimately didn't pick up this book because the Batman Who Laughs. I hate the concept. I hate the idea. I hate that.
He's the biggest Mary Sue ever.
He's a huge Mary Sue. He's this edgelord Batman.
Yeah, he totally is.
He
totally is. But it works for all the wrong reasons. It works.
Yeah. You can say the same thing about this entire event.
That's the reason I haven't been picking up this entire event.
But
I skipped out on Death Metal because I don't want to read about the fucking Batman Who Laughs.
It has
there's a T-Rex Batman. It's awesome.
Okay.
You're missing out, man.
It does have some heartfelt moments in this. This issue,
it does.
Wally
had some heart. It had a lot of heart, dude.
Yeah, Wally is reunited back with his kids and his wife Linda, who does remember who he is now.
I'm glad for that.
Right.
The biggest
finally righting some wrongs of the New 52.
The biggest takeaway for this book for me was, in terms of a death metal tie-in, was a whole lot of heart, and that's at the core of Flash.
And then there is some important plot stuff with the Mobius chair.
And there's a little bit. Well, that all ties into them getting that chair back to Wonder Woman, as seen in the death metal main series. If she gets that chair, she can do a whole lot of good with it. In terms of defeating the Darkest Night. But that's where the hope part comes in. This was because they keep getting shit on, dude. Death Metal, the Trinity last issue, when they went to their all these crises and everything's just terrible in the other crisis. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this one had hope written all over it, man. Even though there was
that's my favorite thing about the Flash. The Flash has always been about hope, about taking the next step forward. Facing your problems.
Yeah. I do appreciate them canonically saying that Wally is a better Flash than Barry.
And it's Barry saying it too. Yeah, so there's no argument anymore. All right, Taylor, number two book, Dose.
Well, I actually am going to pick Immortal She-Hulk. I have been tuned into the Immortal Hulk book since the beginning. It's consistently a top pick for every month if I had to do such a thing. To me, this felt like a like a side door into the series because it is kind of recapping a lot of the ideas. It gets into the leader being like pulling the strings. Like they just now got around to that in the last couple of issues of Immortal Hulk. And like this issue is basically just like, hey, Jen, I'm in charge of this place where the green door is. Don't tell anyone. And then like,
but yeah, it was kind of boogeyman.
I love the dialogue. I really enjoyed Bruce Banner's dad. I think his name is Brian. Yeah, Brian Banner.
Yeah.
I liked his description of the place below all is like, I know that there's like a hell in the Marvel universe and it's got like a court system and like Mephisto and all that stuff.
Yeah,
this place right
Johnny
here,
Blaze was in charge there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this place right here, this is the concept of hell. This is the fundamental hell. This is like
stripped down
hell. Of hell. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's cool. I mean, they're getting into and they're carrying on with this green door and the immortal angle. I like that. The best
I like your conversation with Thor about like, I want the perspective of someone who is an immortal and like talk to Wolverine because you've been dead so many times. You have a perspective on coming back to life. I also like the part where they're referencing back to Civil War II when she died there and like, I died because Tony Stark had to be right. And not even for the last time I have to die because Tony Stark had to be right.
I'll go one further. She also sort of gets into the fact that no one really noticed that she was dead. I think maybe in the Empire death. She's like, yeah, I was dead. And no one really noticed. I was just dead 1 minute. And there was such a kerfluffle going on with this war between the Kree Skrull and Kotati that, hey, I thought she was dead. She must not have died. And she's like, and then I almost believed it. You know, like death isn't like a really big deal. And dude, that really spoke to me a little bit, but outside of the context of the Green Door, just in the context of comics overall.
Yeah, that's fair.
How the tropes that have always just been something that we take for granted. Sure, he's dead. He'll be back later in comics. Writers are really taking advantage of this trope and building it directly into the stories they're telling. Hickman with the Resurrection Protocols, this Green Door shit, you know, that Ewing's creating in Hell. I think that's really just in terms of comics, something that's really just unique and interesting for them to play with. You know what I mean? But above that, I think the best thing I can say for this is Al Ewing paced it perfectly. Like you said, with him going back and talking to Thor and his take on immortality, and then who's no help at all. And then Wolverine talking about being dead a few times and was literally no help at all.
His advice was pretty much don't worry about it.
And that was the part where she's like, no, are you, what the hell are you talking about?
I mean, she acknowledges though that maybe that's not the worst idea. That like, and then like with Thor, like he kind of points out, you're not really immortal because none of us are. We're all going to die eventually, no matter how immortal
he doesn't understand the angle.
Neither does she, to be fair.
Well, that's true, but we as the audience, we do understand. The reader understands what's going on, where, no, you're dead. You're going to hell. You just happen to have a way out every damn time because of this unique thing that you are. And it's cool that the Thinker is manipulating that aspect of the Hulks, you know?
Surely you meant the leader.
Oh, yeah, the leader. Sorry. Of course I did. That's a dope book, but didn't make my top 3. Is it me, number 2?
Yep, it's you.
Venom number 28. I can't get off the Donny Cates train. Juan Gideon doing the art here. We're still waiting for Noel to come. He is just back there pounding away.
You're always just waiting for Noel.
Come on, Noel, hurry up. But as Eddie and Dylan continue to explore this strange new world where everyone has a symbiote and this character named Codex reigns supreme, we're having a whole lot of fun, dude. Everybody's got a symbiote. There's all kinds of different Marvel characters. Juggernaut, Wolverine, Omega Red, all with a symbiote, all doing different. Doc Ock, who's the symbiote. It's really cool. The story is still really fun. Codex is Dylan. This appears to be an alternate universe, sort of a what-if sort of take on the point in this series where Eddie was in a church and he was going to commit suicide, and he chose not to. So this might be like the It's a Wonderful Life sort of take on Venom, where we see what would have happened to Dylan if Null arrived, because Dylan can control symbiotes to a point that's still very mysterious. We're not quite sure what those effects are and what level that goes to. but everybody's sort of saying that he's telegraphing the punch that Dylan's going to be the key to defeating Null.
Oh yeah, he'll probably be his Deus Ex Machina at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is wonderful. I'm loving exploring this symbiote world where Codex is in charge and everything. And
I was bitching about events earlier, but I am excited for King is Black or whatever.
King
it's
in
called.
Black. Yeah, I am too, man. Null has been on the way for so damn long. I wish
the last Venom event was really good, so I'm down for the next one. I'm not picking up Venom as the Venom book itself, but I am excited for the event.
I picked up Venom because Ryan Stegman was doing the art, and then it got all into these events where he was getting taken away.
Can't go wrong with Ryan Stegman.
But they've been doing okay. Juan Gideon is not my first choice for any book, but he's giving us a passable, serviceable sort of issue here, and his takes on the symbiotes and all the different characters in the Marvel Universe is really cool. So there you go. Awesome. That's my number 2.
All right, me now. All right, so my number 2 was Justice League Dark, number 26.
Oh, these are still going on.
Yep, by Ram V and Amansi Nalhupin. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Art's fantastic. So what really struck me with this issue was how similar it was to Ten of Swords' creation.
Really?
Yeah, there is even an extended tarot card scene in this issue.
It actually makes more sense in Justice League Dark.
Well, it does. Madam what is it?
Xanadu.
Xanadu. Yeah, Madam Xanadu.
Nice.
So in this issue, Detective Chimp, he gathers Constantine. They get like a little tarot reading from Xanadu, and then they go and they gather Dr. Fate and Man-Bat, and they go to the other place and they help the other team, who's already down there, who's Swamp Thing, Wonder Woman, Santana. They help them all fight the Upside Down Man in a really big, cool, awesome fight. And in the end, Constantine starts giving this really not typical Constantine speech where he's talking about the power of belief and how their belief in magic can overcome the Upside Down Man. Just for the Upside Down Man to kill him at the very end.
That's got to be. That's not.
But it's got to be because he dies with a smile on his face. So Constantine's got something up his sleeve.
He's got some plan. Yeah.
I don't know.
His being nice was part of some magic spell or something.
I've just been really loving on this book. This has been the spiritual successor to that Tenian Detective Comics run that he had. What he did with the Bat Family there, he did with the
dark
magic facility. Yeah, the Magic Family here. Now that he's passed the book off to Ram V, but it's still a really damn good book.
Ram V's pretty dope too, man.
Yeah,
underrated.
Definitely.
Good choice. That leads us to number 1. I think it's unanimous from judging by everything that's been said so far.
Yeah. Since no one picked it in any other spot, I guess it's kind of a foregone conclusion at this point. But yeah, X of Swords. Ten of Swords.
Yeah, me too. Ten of Swords. I cannot
wait.
It
must be Ten of Swords because of the tarot card thing they did.
It is. I've said that. This was also in that whole tarot card section was in the Free Comic Book Day book, but some of the insets, the text insets, were not in the Free Comic Book Day book. So that just added another layer to me reading those 3 or 4 pages when they sacrificed the son, Saturnine's homeboys sacrificed the son so they could get the card deck. That added a whole nother layer for me because it was like a tease without a tease, in the Free Comic Book Day book. And that art, dude, Pepe Larraz's art.
Oh yeah, the art's fantastic. When it gets to the big battle scene where they're just fighting the faceless horde, all of that stuff is super epic. When they pull down whatever that tower is that Saturnine lives on top of.
Yeah, the Starlight
all
Citadel.
That stuff is really cool.
Starlight Citadel, yeah.
But yeah, that was real. I really like Saturnine's response though, where she's like, "Oh, well, I guess I better do something now," and then she just pops down, freezes everyone, and turns death into a child. It's like, okay, so what the fuck do you assholes want?
Dude, so cool, man. And
she was a bad bitch, man, and it was fun to read.
Yeah, and she's really just having fun here. If she wanted to, she could just duck out into another universe.
Probably
through the Starlight Citadel, but there are so many threads that Hickman is weaving here that are going to extend past this event. But
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, like we were talking about earlier in the other review, man, what an absurd sort of premise.
Oh yeah,
for a book. It's just
well,
it's so
just
dumb.
like the DC event right now. It's so dumb, but it's working for me.
It's so epic.
I mean, execution is always more important than premise, right?
Exactly. I trust Hickman to.
It's like kids playing with their action figures, but they actually have some storytelling chops behind them.
Sure.
But you mentioned Hickman like setting things up for later. I wonder if this is going to be like the Infinity event that he did with Avengers, where it was just like setting up ultimately stuff that built into Secret Wars.
Totally what this is.
Yeah, Jules said the same thing, that this is all going to be a setup.
This is his Infinity.
Yeah, I think my prediction by the end of it is these 4 horsemen and the still yet unnamed. They did talk about it in this, how there was a character called Creation and a character called Annihilation who went head to head, and it appears that Creation lost. Creation was the mother of these 4 horsemen, and Apocalypse was their father. I think that is a ruse. If you remember who was telling that story, it was Summoner. Summoner is a fucking liar.
That's an interesting thing, because like that whole issue, we were just talking about it last week with X-Men. Was it 13, 12?
I think it was 12.
12. Whatever. 12. But yeah, so he was obviously an unreliable narrator. He was completely full of shit.
I think Creation and Annihilation are actually the same person.
Maybe defeat just meant like an inner battle here.
Exactly, dude. Something's going on. There's something bigger going on, and Hickman's got a twist in here somewhere.
Yeah. Well,
but really, don't we just want to see these badass characters meet these new villains and watch them
have a sword fight?
Duel it out
I mean,
with
if this is just
fucking swords.
If this is just the tournament arc where it's just like setting up a bunch of like high stakes sword bouts, I am here for it.
I can't wait, dude.
But
I can't wait.
Yeah, I remember back when Infinity came out, I was like, man, this is awesome. But then, like later on, when Secret Wars came out, that was
even more awesome.
Blew it out of the water. Yeah. So hopefully, we're in for a similar situation here.
Yeah. Here's the checklist. It's hard to see here, but it's 22 issues. That is a whole lot.
Yeah, it is.
But man, I am excited for all of it. I can't wait. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to read that.
I'll just check the back of the issue here, but yeah.
So man.
One thing that did bother me though.
Yes.
Back in Marvel Comics number 1000, when they released that, when they were teasing it with their little one-page story there.
1995.
Well, like they were showing Apocalypse, like, when was that he did that?
No,
okay.
All of the pages were numbered with a different year, if you'll remember in that issue.
Oh. I have to go
Hickman's page, that it was just what you're referencing, was 1995.
Okay.
I know my brain just.
All right. Well, that actually could clear things up, because I remember at the time, like I remember reading this year and be like, didn't Apocalypse like just wake these guys up on Earth? How have they been like on the other side of Otherworld doing all this fighting for all this time? But
I think
if that was like supposed to have been like 20 something years ago, then that does make more sense, I suppose.
And I think it's I think it's also within the continuity, like 2 different ways. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. That whole Marvel Comics 1000 was a turd anyway, dude.
I enjoyed it.
I mean, it was okay, but it was hard to follow in terms of this is actually a tease for something coming up. And then they had this mask that made you all powerful, and they touched on it just a little bit in. Shit, what book was that? It was not great, dude.
I guess Marvel Comics number 1000 was basically just a giant setup for other things, and its value is only existent if the other things pan out well.
It's because they were doing Action Comics 1000 or whatever the hell it was. Marvel just wanted a cheap money grab, dude. I'm sorry.
Right. Well,
there's nothing wrong with that. But
I guess there's no point in squabbling about a book that came out a fucking year ago here.
No, it's 2016 that book came out.
I'm certain.
I'm pretty damn sure it was 2016, dude.
God.
It may have been 2018. Let me check.
2018 sounds more right.
Yeah, it may have been 2018. Number 1000. Yeah, it was. Actually, it's saying 2019. What the hell book am I?
It was last fucking year. I don't know.
Fuck Taylor. Anyway, this has been This Geek in Comics. I want to thank everybody for hanging out, checking us out. We have a Patreon. Go over there, patreon.com/outrightgeekery. Give us $1 a month. That's all we want, just the tip. Yeah, because you're getting awesome shit like this. Check out spinwhizcomics.com, also on iOS and Android for literally free comics from all over the internet, all kinds of cool creators. We want to thank you for hanging out. If you like what you listened to, come back every week. Check us out. We also do a show on Mondays where we talk about the previews. We've got the Geek Tyrion collection coming up.
Super excited for that.
Super excited about that.
That looks fun. It really does.
And you're invited to that, dude, if you want to watch that movie and come hang out and talk to us about it. We're going to do They Live. We'll talk to you about it. You're in the chat now.
Indeed.
We've also got Creators Outlet with Big Willie. He's also doing 5-minute reviews over here on these channels. We got the Comic Book Bullies every Monday morning, really early Monday morning if you want to watch it live. But yeah, we got a whole lot more in the pipeline. Top 5 coming up in a week or two. I'm hoping that the Geek Savs come back pretty soon. I've been talking to Eli and Travis to getting that going. So Fat T, let's do it. Let's get it done. Most of all, I want to thank these two jokers for hanging out with me and doing this damn thing.
Anytime, man.
Awesome. We're going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
You have to say it. That's why I fucking miss David.
Hey, at least I got the words right.
I know, you got the words right.
I mean, it's an improvement every week, right?
It is. That's all you can really ask for. As long as we're getting better. That used to be our mantra here. We're getting better.